Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
I have got with me Thomas Robertsen, Sir Thomas Robertsen. Sorry, I should say Sen. Thank you for giving me the time for the talk. Look, you've got a fight coming up on the BCMMA card. Now,
yes.
I have to say, looking at the way your pro career has gone so far, you must be very pleased with the fact that you fought guys with a record that is very, they've got a solid high record. They've had a few fights under their belt. You're doing the same again. And you're doing very well. Your last fight, that right hook that you caught your opponent with, it's going well for you, mate. How are you feeling in yourself?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm feeling great, but it's like I feel like every fight, always when I fight, I never try to see them as an easy fight because I always think they are the toughest test for me every time. But sometimes it just goes like it almost feels like easy. So I'm a little afraid that maybe I just been lucky, So I'm still waiting for the time I will meet one who maybe challenge me really hard, So
yes.
I try to stay smart and just do the smart thing and not get hurt. So I've been lucky so far, but you never know. So I just try to be happy now, and we just have to see.
I've got to ask: are you looking to be competing at welterweight? Because it seems that you don't fight at the same weight class all the time at the moment.
Yeah, it's. I want to fight welterweight. Welterweight will be my weight class. I just take fights short notice, and I'm pretty heavy, so sometimes I just need to take 84 middleweight matches. But I've been to 77 and I felt great, so I know I can do it, and that's what I have to do now when I face bigger challenge. I just become smaller and they become bigger, so welterweight is a good class for me.
Yeah, so that's kind of when you get higher up the ranks, you'll start to make sure that you've got enough time to get yourself down to welterweight and that you're competing at that weight class.
Yeah, but I will do it maybe now we have a catch weight at 80, but next time I want to do welterweight. From now on I think I just will do welterweight all the time.
Yeah, well, do you know what? Sometimes it takes fighters a couple of bouts to kind of feel comfortable at that weight class and find their weight class. I've done it myself where I started at 205 pounds or 94 kilo. Then I went down to 84, and then I went down 80. Then I went down to 77.
That's good.
My coach said, there's a possible of what's 155 in kilo. What's that one again? That's at 70, isn't it? 70 kilo. I was like, no. No chance. I said 77 nearly killed me. I said no, you've got no chance of getting me down to 70 kilos. You have to chop my leg off.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't want to cut so much weight because it's kind of drag down your performance.
Yeah,
but
it does.
I just have to kind of change my body because I love to eat. I'm a junk food junkie. So I love cakes and stuff. So after a fight, before a fight I go on diet, and after it's 3 weeks with just throwing in everything. So it's crazy, and then I get up to 88, 89. So it's I have to change my body maybe a little just to get it easier.
You and me would get on very well then. I'm exactly the same as you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I'm like you. I'll eat if I see it, I'll eat it. When you see when you see a cake and it says it'll feed 4 or 6 people, I just look at it and go, no, it'll feed me.
Yeah. I like that myself.
That's the problem.
Pizza for myself.
Yeah, and then it comes to the fight. Yeah. You sign the contract and you go, right, okay, I'm going to get on the weighing scales, and you think, no, got to start this again in 6 weeks' time. You're thinking, I think in one fight camp, I dropped 38 pounds. I don't even know what that is in kilos. Probably about, what's that?
15 or something. Maybe.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. So 6 week camp, 38 pounds. So that was fun.
That's good. I maybe need 8 weeks for it to get down maybe 10 kilos.
Yeah, so it wasn't fun, but I did it. But at the same time, I need to get I'm like you. I need to get my walking weight just closer to where I want to compete at. But they need to make cake that isn't that's good, like fat-free cake. That's what they need to make, fat-free cake, and then I'm happy. And pizza, fat-free pizza, fat-free cake.
Yeah, with the same taste.
Yes, the same taste.
Yeah.
And that's all we need to do. I don't know. I think what we should do is try and. You ever watch Peter Pan?
Yeah.
With Robin Williams in, when they have to imagine the food in the bowls.
Yes.
That's
right.
what we need to do.
So it's crazy because many people think maybe that the training is the hardest part, but actually I think it's the diet and the weight cuts and the what do you call it, like not physical but
mental game.
Mental game.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the worst part for me, I think, because I get so grumpy, and my girlfriend, she's like have to live with me the last 2 weeks. She tell me it's like hell, like really grumpy, and so she tried to stay away the last weeks because she knows how I am. So.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's the thing people don't realize. It is a challenge in itself. When you're sitting there, and like I remember on the week the week of like fight week for me, and I was eating like spinach with egg whites and just stuff like that, and it's not it's not great. Like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with spinach. I love spinach and I love eggs. But when you just eat, that's all you're eating is like a few leaves of spinach and a few bits of eggs. It just gets to you, and it does make you right. It's a mental challenge. You can just easily sit there and go, I don't care. I'm going to miss weight. I'm just going to eat some food. But it really does test you. But the thing is a balance of how much you cut and how well you perform. You need to get that fine balance. It is an art form, and I'm sure every fight camp you're having, you're literally learning every time.
Yeah. It's a big learning process every time. You get something new, like new food that tastes good, and you can use it, and different ways to cut weight and how to gain weight. Sometimes I used to like eat after weigh-ins. I was like, yes, I made it, and then it was like McDonald's, and it's not good. You get sick and like full up. You need to be smart with everything. So it's you always learn.
Well, that's the thing. We had the nutritionist on Nutrition who actually helped John Jones in his fight camp. He was a nutritionist. Had him on. He's a great guy. I love speaking to him actually, just in general. And he was saying as well, a very common feature is when someone's weighed in, they just think they can splurge on food and then go and fight the next day. And you think, and he made the point of you're eating to optimize your body to the highest level. Why would you throw it all away after you've weighed in? You need to build your body back up again after you've done it. He said you after the fight, do what you like. But he said a lot of people after they've weighed in, they don't think about what they're eating because the next day you're expected to go and perform at your best. If you don't eat clean and eat well before then, how are you going to feel good?
Yeah, it's true. And that's maybe the most important part, and you all need knowledge to know this, because it's like, and not everybody has a good team around them, sometimes I've seen people bring friends to coach them, and they're like, okay, we made it, now get out and have fun, so it's very good to have this good team who can give you the right things, so it's, now I'm trying to like understand it, and I get to feel it, and now I think I do the right thing, but before it was like not so good, but now I feel like I'm being smarter with the food and everything, so it's I feel much better.
And so your opponent you've got now, Aymed himself. Have you bothered to look at how he is as a fighter, or did you just literally get the name and you went, I don't care who it is?
Yeah, I never say no to a fight, but I always check them up anyways, to see how they are. He looks really good, and I know he's a southpaw, and I think it's from a judo background or something, and so he's really dangerous, and I really look forward to meet him, because last time he fought John McGuire, and he looked good, but I've seen his older fights, and then he looks much more fast and strong, I think. Now we got much more muscles, so
yeah.
But he got a good record, it's I think it's 9'6" or something. And,
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience, under his belt. That's something, that is really invaluable. You can't put a price on experience, and that's something when you get in there, he'll know a lot of tricks, a lot of stuff, and whenever you try things, he might have seen it already a few times. So for you to make sure that you're, I would say, not predictable, what are you doing yourself then when you're training? How are you trying to keep yourself on that next curve? How are you trying to stay ahead of the game in a way?
Yeah, it's I try to train like every aspect of the game, and my trick is that I find the most effective is that I don't really have a really solid game plan every time. I try to like take it as the fight goes and what feels natural, because like if my plan is to take them down, I get a little stuck when it goes wrong. So I try just to feel out the match and just do the things that I think is right at that moment. But of course, like I know he's a judo guy and a southpaw, so I've trained a lot more on southpaws, and I don't think I will like try to wrestle with him or something, because I know he's got really good like hip throws and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, that's the thing when you know straight away that he's a southpaw. You should be drilling straight away. You should be drilling, to have your left foot, your lead foot, on his outside lead foot. Last thing you want is to have it the other way around. You always want to be away, circling to his right or your left to make sure you avoid his power hand. Like you said with the grappling exchanges, if he's got that judo background, whenever you do clinch up, you want to make sure that your hips are lower than his, so that he can't get that kind of hip toss and movement that he really wants to get out of it. There's things that people won't understand. A great one, I'll tell you one thing you want to do then. You want to watch the Holly Holm Ronda Rousey fight. That is a absolute textbook way of blocking a judoka from taking you down. And Faraz El-Harbi, the lead coach at TriStar, he did a phenomenal breakdown of it on YouTube. Get on it. I suggest you get on it and watch it. You will pick up some stuff there that are just the dynamite. When you have dynamite information, it's something you probably want to have a look at yourself. But there are things whenever you have an opponent, obviously you train just to be able to compete against anyone. But if they've got a certain skill set, it's worth knowing and worth noting and worth preparing for.
Yeah, it's really less. It's like you don't train like every aspect. Like you have a game plan for everything, but you try to train on what you have to avoid or something. Because now I know what he's good at, and I just don't want to be there. So I have to train like other things. But I'm pretty flexible. But I know like if he's good at that stuff, I think he's probably better than me. So then I try to do something else. So, but this is the first sample also, so it's going to be like a really different experience for me. So yeah, it's going to be a good fight, I think.
Yeah, look, it is going to be a hell of a good fight. I know BCMMA, I know the guys there, the top lads, they always try to match up fights that are going to be entertaining. They always like to have push. Like your last couple of fights, you put on entertainment. You've pleased the crowd at BCMMA. I think they will probably take you on board as like an adopted child, so to speak. Because they know that you're an entertaining fighter. And I think that's what the crowd pay to see. They want to see guys that finish. They want to see guys that entertain. That's something that you do.
Yeah.
It's something you should be proud of, man.
I think I will try to. Like, I always finish my fights now first round, so this is my goal this time too. But you never know. So
yes, you can't always. Yeah, you can't sit there and say you can't force it. If you force it, it'll never happen. But if you go in there and you're ready for the opportunity, you're more likely to get that finish.
Yeah, that's true. So,
that is, look, man.
Just have to feel him out, I think.
Before I let you go, Thomas, can you just let people know what it is you're doing? Like, are you cross training? Are you training at different gyms? How are you preparing back home in general for MMA? How do you separate your training?
Yeah, I have one main gym. It's Shashpushi, where I do like kickboxing and grappling and MMA and mix it up. That's like this is the place where I am the most. But I also have like get other people in to train with them. So that's kind of the way it goes at this moment. But I also do a lot of heavy strength training besides, and also do like this strength circle with the high pulse and fast repetitions with strengths and different exercises. So just try to like stay in shape, but I got some good training partners, so I'm pretty happy at this moment.
Well, look, it's working well for you so far. Obviously, there's nothing. I was just more curious about what winning formula you've got going on back home, really. Hey, Thomas, I'm sure everything's working. I'm sure this fight you're going to have is going to be one that the crowd is going to be roaring to again, like they do on the last couple of fights. Which, ladies and gentlemen, you can see these fights on YouTube. If you just put in Thomas Robertsen and just put in BCMMA, they will pop up. And you can watch them. I've watched them. I suggest you all have a watch as well. Enjoy them. Get yourself, wet your lips before the fight comes up. This BCMMA card up, and you can also watch the fights live on pay-per-view. It's MMA TV. If you go to mmatv.co.uk, you can find the link there. When it comes to the time, you can watch the fight. Thomas, but I'm going to let you shoot off, but before I do, what is your social media, man, so people can jump on, give you a follow, interact, and, just enjoy your kind of pro career kind of flourishing?
Yeah, it's on Instagram, it's Thomas Rob MMA, and it's Facebook, it's Thomas Saint MMA, and on Snapchat, it's THOROB.
Jump on.
So,
yeah, give him a follow, give him a snap, give him a like on Instagram, give him all that palaver. Interact with him, join Thomas on his little journey. What about sponsors? Do you have any people at local companies or anything helping you out, sponsoring you?
Yeah, I got Combat Corner. It's an international fightwear company, and it's also based in Norway. And they got good stuff, so they give me stuff, so I'm happy. And I got Body Power. It's a nutritionist company. And it's Sarpsborg Sports Club and Sarpsborg Ski. And I also want to thank my girlfriend, because she's been with me almost 10 years now, and she can handle me, so she's a good girl. And we just bought a house together, so I'm really happy now.
Well, congratulations on that, mate. Everything is going well for you. She has really done well putting up with you for that long, hasn't she?
Yeah. And in sport you kind of get like ego, so...
Yeah. She will beat you down. She will kick your ass.
Yeah. It's a good girl.
And do you want to give a shout out to your coaches in particular that have helped you for this fight camp, or any particular training partners that have been there a bit to, specifically help you?
Yeah, I couldn't have done this without Chris Dachino, who is my main training coach, and he's always been with me on the fights, so he's like a brother to me, so we got a really good connection, and without him I wouldn't be here, so I thank him. And Christian Lapsley was also fighting on this card against Mardan Jansemani. He's my main training partner. He's a big tough guy, so this is going to be good. And Christopher Dara, who is a fast young kid with a rising star, so these are really good guys.
Oh, sounds like you've got a good feel, a good vibe going on with your team.
Yeah.
Have a great fight, Thomas, honestly. Have a great time at BCMMA, as you probably always do anyway. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah. Enjoy your trip away, so to speak, from home. Last one then. Do you want to give a message to any of your friends and family in your native tongue back home?
Yeah, I can do that. Takk for at dere følger med, og håper dere syns kampen blir like spennende som jeg kommer til å være spent, så får vi bare se hva som skjer. Ønsker meg lykke til. Yeah.
That's what I was about to say as well, but you took the words right out of my mouth. Alright, Thomas, again, thank you for your time, friend. Have a great time, and it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure is all mine, sir.